Welcome to Good Follow presented by DraftKings. I'm Ros Logan. That's my girl, Logan Hackett. Logan, what's going on?
Nothing. Just got back from Mexico, but how are you?
I'm good. Not as good as you. I mean, you were golden and tan. Not as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. It was just Super Bowl weekend. Congrats to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. You know me, I'm a halftime show. Like, I'm into the halftime show. And you're either on one side or the other. Was Kendrick great or was he not? For me, it was actually Serena Williams who stole the show. How about you, Logan?
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's all I could say. Like, first of all, Kendrick Lamar is a diabolical man. Absolutely diabolical. But Serena Williams ate that up. The way I screamed, the way when she came on the TV, I was like, "Is that Serena?"
I screamed too. You know, I was actually with a group of people and there was like this collective moment of recognition. We were like, Serena!
And she looked amazing too, I have to say.
Yeah, no, she did her thing. I'm of the group think that Kendrick had a great performance. I recognize all his music and his songs. And overall, you know, it was probably the most exciting part of a Super Bowl where the Eagles were mostly dominant.
Absolutely. And we also just had an exciting week in women's sports, so I do want to get into it. Yes. Starting off with Unrivaled. We had round one of the 1v1 tournament, and it was kind of shaken up because of the injury, so it was combined into one session. So at the time of recording, round one is complete, and you were there. I saw you on TV. You looked amazing, by the way. But I want to hear your take and who stood out to you.
Girl, who stood out to me? Skylar Diggins Smith. And what stood out is that Sky is a nut. She is such a nut, and I love it in the best way possible. She is so intense and competitive. It was very clear that she had a premeditated plan to take away Dearica Hamby's like height and size advantage by getting as far and feisty up in her shorts and defending her so close that she couldn't utilize the size advantage. And I'm looking at Sky and I'm thinking, she's a nut. I love her gamesmanship. She makes this one-on-one tournament better and more fun. And she did it. She advanced. You could tell she was highly prepared.
Oh my gosh. I love watching it. It's just so fun. Like, I don't know, when you take from 5-on-5, first of all, going from 5-on-5 to 3-on-3 is a complete difference. But when you just put the 1v1 on the court, I love it. And it especially stood out to me when Rickea Jackson and Jackie Young were playing. Like, first of all, Rickea playing in a full beat. That girl looked amazing.
Actually, girl, I have to tell you, I don't think there's like actual foundation on her skin. I think Rickea Jackson is just that pretty.
I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless here.
Stunning.
But I have to shout out home of the land and the free, Canadian Allisha Edwards. Look, home is Canada. Watching her, truly, truly amazing. And I can't wait to see what she does this season. But just watching her take down Stewie the way that she did, what was it like being there and watching that happen in person?
The biggest upset of the one-on-one tournament thus far. The 8 seed takes down the 1 seed. Allisha Edwards takes down Breanna Stewart. And it's not just that she won, it's the fashion that she did it in. She beat Stewie in less than 2 minutes. Stewie didn't score. She shut her out. Mind you, this is in Stewie's tournament that she's a co-founder of. Like, it was absolutely diabolical and shenanigans. And like, if I was Stewie's agent, I might have had to call a fire alarm in. Like, we might have had to shut the whole thing down. Like, there's no way. It was crazy. Like, I'm not even sure, like, you know, but at the same time, you got to respect Stewie. She's such a great sport about it. Very classy. Afterwards, put out a nice tweet, you know, and also, not me being a conspiracy theorist, but maybe she's the co-founder. Guess what? Upset sell. Maybe she took one for the team to get the chatter going, to get the excitement going. Nothing bigger and spicier than an 8 seed beating a 1 seed in a shutout. I don't know. No, I would never accuse Stewie of such a thing. But
I truly never even thought about that.
Stewie wins either way, like, because the upset furthers her business of Unrivaled.
I love how like they both had a big smile on their face too. It was like watching like two little friends like go at it, but Allisha would just slide back for the step back 3, drain it. Like, it was insane. But continuing with Unrivaled, the Owls are still undefeated with Allisha Gray and Nafisa Collier and Skylar Diggins Smith dominating the box score. And I want to hear your take on that. I want to hear all your takes today.
Girl, I've been in all the different roles for Unrivaled, whether it's in Atlanta in studio being analyst, whether it's at the games being a sideline reporter, or at the one-on-one contest being their host of the in-arena. I have seen a whole lot of their hoops, and the Owls continue to be dominant in every way possible. And while Nafisa Collier and Skylar Diggins-Smith get tons of headlines and a lot of the attention, maybe not quite as much hype is coming to Allisha Gray, and she deserves it all. Let's take a look at her highlights because she's been super dominant in Unrivaled play. And keep in mind, like, Allisha Gray is averaging 19.5 points per game. That's fourth in Unrivaled in the entire league. She just quietly and consistently goes about her business and handles her work. She can score at the rim. She can score from three. And again, Nafisa Collier gets a lot of attention. So when teams are crowding her, boom, pass out. She'll make you pay for giving her space, for leaving her. And she does a really nice job off the dribble, either making the decision to step into her three-point shot, or if she finds that the defense is on her hip, turns the corner, gets right to the rim. And we're just seeing an overall just ascension for Allisha Gray. And I love it because you think about this WNBA All-Star game. She won the skills contest. She won the three-point contest. Now she's at Unrivaled, playing with confidence, crushing it again, fourth in the league in scoring. She's going from here. If she doesn't win the one-on-one contest, she's leaving from Miami to go to the Bay and play in the NBA All-Star game, like celebrity game or whatever. So we just love to see all of this, all these wins and success for Leash.
What I also love to see is she's going viral on social media. Like,
yes,
the twang in her accent and just her little comments and like her food reviews with Brian. Oh my God. Amazing.
Yes.
She's killing it on and off the court right now.
Logan, this is what happens when you give more coverage to different types of players. We get to learn different types of personalities and then fall in love with them. Like, Allisha Gray, Leisha's precious, and we need more screen time from her.
I feel like we need a map and putting pins for where Ros is, because you were also in Nashville for Athletes Unlimited. You caught the final games of week 1 last Saturday. And I just want you to take us through that part and what sets Athletes Unlimited apart, because now we have all these different leagues.
Yeah, Athletes Unlimited is a 5-on-5 league. It's only a month long. There's 40 players. And, you know, this is season 4, and it was in Nashville. And so that's really great because Nashville is fertile grounds for women's basketball. There was such great energy in that building. And what's unique about Athletes Unlimited is that they focus on crowning an individual player as a champion versus a team. So the focus is on, like, each play mattering, each quarter mattering, every moment mattering. And that can be very exciting and innovative for fandom watching and for players playing the game.
And while you were there, you had a little surprise for some players, and let's take a look.
If you were to give a rose or flowers to someone in your women's basketball journey, it could be a teammate, it could be a coach, it could be, you know, a player, it could be anybody that you would just want to shout out and give flowers to. Who would that be?
Natasha Cloud. I remember year 1, I was in and out of the WNBA, and she was one of the few players that said Lexi Brown belongs in this league and she's good enough to be in the WNBA. And I will never forget that in season 1 of Athletes Unlimited. And she's kind of going through some rough patches right now with her journey in the WNBA. But Tosh, we love you. You're amazing, and you get a rose.
I had to give credit in my roses to Pat, and without her being the woman that she was, we would not know the game of basketball that it is today. I'm so happy that I had that figure in my life because I'm able to pass that forward to other women. So this is to you, Pat.
I would pass a rose to all of the Black women who've been here since day 1, covering this sport when no one thought it was worth it.
Chloe Pavlik. She used to play for the University of Maryland, and she's helped to grow the game so much on and off the court. She was one of my first ever clients before anybody knew that I was styling, and she gave me a chance, and she just helped so many people, like, still stay in the game.
To my high school coach, she obviously showed me an example of what it was like to be a coach at a time when it wasn't necessarily popular, but she also saw things in me that I hope that I do for our players today and see things in them the way that she saw in me.
You know, I want to give Athletes Unlimited their flowers for just being the first organization in league to really take a chance on giving players an option to play domestically.
AU brought more longevity to my career, and I can't thank AU enough, but it's going to bless other people too.
Handing out roses, and a rose to you too, Logan.
Thank you. A rose to you as well. And Valentine's Day is coming up. But y'all, the full clip of Ros Roses is already up on our socials, so make sure to go check that out. And coming up, Monique Billings is back to talk college hoops, the W post free agency, and her Golden State Valkyries.
Welcome back to Good Follow Show. I'm Roz, she's Logan, and Logan, we have a very special guest returning to the show. It is a co-host. She is a respected WNBA veteran. She is a good friend of mine and newly of the Golden State Valkyries. Monique Billings joins the show.
Hey, hi guys. Thanks for having me. I love the bell. We brought the bell back.
For you, baby, we're still workshopping it. Nobody,
I
we
love
haven't
it.
gotten any feedback. We're not sure. We have to talk with our consulting firm if this is working with the audience.
It's cute.
Girl, last time we had you on, we started off with intentions.
Yes.
And you asked us our intentions for the year of 2025. Let's get a little bit more focused. And we just started February. What are your intentions for the month of February?
I love that question. I would say I love the visual. Yes. Intentions for February. So I'm in my off season right now and I'm really focused on just being present. I've never had like a true off season, so I'm kind of not used to it, but my intention is to be present, water my own grass, and just enjoy every moment that I have. How about you guys? What are the intentions for February?
Mine is consistency. Just
like
in every single realm, just staying consistent.
Okay.
Well, when we started off with you, Monique, to start 2025, I gave you the word soft.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm in a busy season. I've literally gone from LA to in studio in Atlanta to reporting and visiting in Nashville, one league, then another league in Miami, and hosting and events and content, and now in Miami doing a show, then the Bay for All-Star. And I've just been really feeling all that comes with that kind of a schedule, and it hasn't felt that soft. So mine is about staying in love with the process. And staying present with it, reminding myself that this is everything that I ever dreamed of and hoped for, and being thankful that I'm here, and just taking it one task at a time, executing, and really loving the preparation it takes to execute at a high level when things are back to back like this.
Roz, I've been seeing on social media, you were giving people flowers. I think it was at AU in Nashville. So I got to give you your flowers right now on air because everything you just listed, you're literally crushing it. Watching you last night on Unrivaled, I'm just like, this girl's amazing. And I texted you like, you look so good. You sound so good. So proud of you.
Thank you. Love
I
you.
love that, y'all. I hate to transition out of this. I'm like, wait, I love this friendship. Keep it going.
We got to talk hoops, though. We got to talk hoops.
Let's do it.
And Mo, since you're here, I want to talk college hoops because that is kind of popping off right now. On Sunday, we saw Texas take down South Carolina, which ended their 57-game SEC win streak. And Madison Booker went home with a double-double. So the latest AP rankings just came out, and SC is down to 4, and Texas is taking the 3 spot, which I'm not going to lie, I love to see Texas on their little run right now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know from your perspective, what weakness did Texas expose in their win, and how could they impact the Gamecocks' hope for another title?
I think that's a great question. I would say South Carolina was exposed really in the paint. Like we see Texas being a bigger matchup. And in the past, when you think about South Carolina, you think about Aaliyah Boston, you think about Asia Wilson, players that are kind of the anchor for a South Carolina team. And right now, they don't necessarily have that anchor. And it's not just about one person being that anchor. If you don't have that, it's the team collectively. It's guards coming in, boxing out, making big plays. It's the bigs working collectively to make an impact on boards. I think that was a really big difference maker in that game. Texas, I don't know the stats, but Texas getting more offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. I think that was something that really exposed South Carolina. But I do want to add that this is a great time to be exposed because postseason is in a month. if you want to be exposed, this is the time because you can see where the holes are in your offense and your defense and just in your system in general. And so you can make those changes, you can adjust. And again, if South Carolina doesn't necessarily have that one anchor piece, they can collectively come together and be that anchor for each other and together. Because if you get exposed in a month, it's it. You're going home.
That's funny because when I was playing at Stanford, Tara Vanderveer used to say to us, Mo, she would say, we don't want to be a January team or a December team. We want to be a February, a March team. We want to be at our best. We want to be an April team for the Final Four. So improvement over the course of the season is key, keeping perspective. Because when you're South Carolina and you lose, that's going to make a headline. But you got to focus on the lessons and ways to get better within the season.
Totally.
I'm looking forward to this Thursday. We have another big matchup. Number 1, UCLA faces number 6, USC, featuring a battle between big-time star power and one of the best defenses in the country. So JUJU Watkins versus Lauren Betts. Who do you think has a greater impact on the game? Is it JUJU's offensive power or Lauren's dominance in the paint?
Great question. I mean, I would say it's both. I don't know if it's just Lauren Betts going off or just JUJU Watkins' offense. UCLA is a unit. Like Lauren Betts, we know she's a great player, making a great campaign season for herself this year. But at the same time, there's so many bench players for UCLA, 5 in, 5 out. They're such a strong unit. JUJU carries her team on her back with Kiki Iriafen. I think it'll be a big load for Kiki Iriafen handling Lauren Betts in the paint, but I think it'll be a great test. I know that she's league bound for next season, so this will be a great test for actually both players. I'm really excited to see that. LA is up right now. We saw the Super Bowl. Up. I need Kendrick to come courtside or something because LA is on the up. So really excited for this game. I'm in Atlanta right now. I wish I was going to be home for it, but it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to be there. All this game needs between UCLA and USC is Serena Williams crip walking at half court. You know what I mean?
I don't know if we can take it. I don't know if we can handle it. It's just too much greatness, so much goodness.
Yeah, you mentioned, Kiki Iriafen, who's a top draft prospect. And we know Lauren Betts has already said, hey, she's going to come back and play another year at UCLA. So for Kiki, what is it that WNBA scouts want to see in a player like her that shows readiness for the next level? Because, her draft stock is right now. This is all eyes will be on this matchup.
Absolutely. Well, her being kind of undersized against Lauren Betts, I think it'll be important for her just to show her speed, her motor. That's what she does so well. Getting on the offensive boards, doing her work early against Lauren Betts is going to be so important, making sure she boxes out, pump fakes. Lauren Betts likes to block shots. She's a known shot blocker. So Kiki Iriafen kind of taking her time. Her face-up game is so dominant. So if she just kind of takes Lauren Betts off the block a little bit, looks to face her up and gets to the basket, I see that being money for her whole game.
Yep. And also keep an eye on Rhea Marshall, who, might get really high impact minutes too for USC inside.
Facts. She does all the little things, the dirty work, the blue collar work. Every team needs that type of player. Rhea Marshall getting on the boards, hustle plays, and just being that glue player for the USC team.
And WNBA free agency has been so crazy to watch. I could only imagine what it's like to be a player right now, but it has completely changed, reshaped the landscape. The Aces added Jewel Lloyd. Kelsey Plum is to the Sparks. Alyssa Thomas and Satou Sabally to Phoenix Mercury. Shanae Carrington to Dallas Wings. BG to the Dream. The Fever added Sophie Cunningham, but recently parted ways with Katie Lou Samuelson. It's been absolutely wild, and you just officially signed with your own team, the Golden State Valkyries, who will be making their debut this season. So I want to know, what should fans expect from your team and yourself in their inaugural season?
Oh my goodness. I would just say we're hungry. From the feedback that I've gotten from the coaching staff, the players that I know, Tiffany Hayes, I'm so excited to be playing with her. That's my vet, played 5 years with Tip in Atlanta. And I would just say the mentality is we're hungry. We already know we're going to be underdogs, counted out, all that. But I love that. And the mentality of the players that have been brought to this team, I would just say we're workers. We want to get to work. And I don't know if it's going to be anything flashy or anything crazy like that, but I just know we're going to get to work. We're going to work hard. Coach Natalie seems great from the conversations that I've had with her. her system. She wants us to play fast, shoot threes, and she wants it to be clean and clear. That was what she had told me on my call with her. I am all for that. I'm so excited. Actually going to All-Star this weekend, going to be with the Valkyries and some of my teammates. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you guys have some plans together at All-Star, getting together in the Bay?
Yeah, so I think we're still figuring out our schedules, but I mean, they're going to have us at the Skills Challenge. I know Kayla Thornton is going to be playing in the All-Star game. No, well, in the celebrity game. She's going to be playing in the celebrity game. So that's going to be really cool to support her. And then going to the All-Star game the following day. So yeah, they're going to have some things planned for us. It's going to be fun.
Okay, the first like little mini bonding moment for the Valkyries might be right here at NBA All-Star in the Bay. You heard it here first.
Exactly. Y'all are going to see all the content. We're going to be in the facilities. I can't wait to work out in the gym. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yes, the Valkyries have all the things. They have that big, fancy, newly, renovated athletic training facility that's going to be beautiful. Here's the other side of it, Mo. The fact that the Valkyries didn't necessarily get the biggest, splashiest names that maybe people were expecting, like, certainly like a Kelsey Plum or something that might have come over in free agency. And for me, it just kind of signaled like, even though the Valkyries have all the things, and I believe they have a great, leadership and governorship and ownership group that comes out of the Golden State Warriors family that are ready to invest, players just weren't necessarily ready to take that leap of faith. And don't forget, this is the first expansion team since 2008. That's almost 20 years. So that's actually kind of an uphill battle of establishing like what expansion looks like now, and they'll set the stage for teams like Portland and teams like, Toronto coming up in 2026. So like if things go well there, it'll probably help, players decide, all right, I might take a chance on a new franchise. What do you think? Why were people hesitant in your thoughts?
That's a really good question because I wasn't hesitant. I mean, obviously I got drafted there, but still being a free agent, I wanted to go, one, where I was chosen, and two, being a trailblazer, having this new opportunity just sounds amazing. And hearing about players who have also had opportunities to be a part of new franchises. For example, Angel McCoughtry, a trailblazer for the Atlanta Dream. When I played for the Atlanta Dream, she's one person who I looked up to, and she put that franchise on her back and really carried it for all the years that she played here. And what comes to my mind is my rookie year playing in Atlanta with Angel McCoughtry, with Tiffany Hayes. We were so underrated. It wasn't a flashy team. There was nothing that you brought up like superstar players. We might have had one or two, but we just worked. We had the dog in us. And that year was, one, my favorite season, but two, I think we finished first in the East. We made it to the semifinals of postseason. And so that year comes to my mind because like we just put our head down and we just got to work. We didn't need the big names. We didn't need anything super flashy to represent ourselves. We just wanted to work. We worked for each other. And that year was just so fun. One, because we were good and we were winning, but two, just because we had that collective mindset and attitude, like, let's get this done. And I, having that season with the Dream at that time, I'm going to bring that mentality to Golden State. And I'm really just excited to bond with my teammates, meet them, and bring that mentality.
Wow, that's a really great mindset and response to a storyline and narrative that has certainly, permeated some of the national headlines. And to hear your testimony and actual experience of seeing a team overcome those outside expectations, it tells me you are the right person. You are just the right player, the right vet to set the tone in that locker room in Golden State. So really excited for you.
I receive all of that. Thank you.
Yes, they got the right girl.
Thank you.
Well, Mo, thank you so much for joining us today. We absolutely love when you're on the show, and we need it longer because we just love talking to you and love to hear your input. And y'all, when we come back, Ros sits down with a very special guest. Stay tuned.
Hey y'all, this is Satou Sabally. I'm here on Good Follow. Don't leave yet because you have to stay for my interview with Ros. I can't wait. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, Good Follow? This is Ros, and we are coming to you live from Miami at Unrivaled's campus. And today we got my girl here, two-time WNBA All-Star, the Unicorn. She's on Team Phantom here at Unrivaled, and most recently joining the Phoenix Mercury.
Yes.
My girl Satou Sabally. What's up, Satou?
What's up, Ross? How are you?
I'm good, sis. We got the vibe. We got our shoes on. The rug is here. We're comfortable. We was talking about lighting an incense.
Yeah, we're clearly in our locker room. Living room.
We chilling. Sis, I'm so glad to sit here and really catch up with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this in person and not through Zoom.
I know, like the first time we were trying to do this, you like had a seatbelt on the car. We were like, let's do it in person.
Yeah, it's better. We're always moving. We're constantly, on the road, and I don't know, it's just nice to actually have that face-to-face conversation because life moves so fast. So this is better.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, it does, like to slow down and enjoy each other. We've been knowing each other for years.
Yes.
And actually, we're starting the show with intention setting this week. And, we're asking everybody, like, what is a word or a phrase that you want to hold on to in 2025? I mean, the year is young. It's only February. You still have Unrivaled. You have the whole WNBA season ahead of you. What's something that, you want to have an intention for?
This was such a big year for me. So many new beginnings, it feels like. And I would say my word is balance. I'll create that balance to be at that peak performance. But with that peak performance also comes like not being high, not being too low, and just really finding that equilibrium and grinding through it. Yeah, that's my word.
I love that. Balance is hard to achieve.
It is.
Like, I don't even
I'm working on it.
Yeah. I mean, it means you also have to set priorities.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's important to you in your life? What would you say if you were saying, like, what are the top priorities in your life? How would you list that?
Oh, that's deep, Ross. Right away. Okay. I would say my family always comes first.
Family.
Yes. I would really even say my belief, too, in God that has strengthened me so much last year and has just like really guided me through such a hard time. Like I feel like it's always someone to talk to when no one else gets you, but that's also friends.
And
like,
friends.
Yeah.
Family, God, and friends.
Yeah. Those are my support system, and I feel like with them I can achieve anything, and everything else isn't in me, and they make me stronger, and they make it able for me to like be me. So yeah, that's my outlet for sure.
Yes. And girl, you have a lot of exciting.
I'm excited.
About Phoenix. We're going to the Mercury. First of all, before we even get there, so the tea was it was between New York and Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we were all on the edge of our seats.
Yeah. Me too.
Like how close were you to like going to New York? What did it come down to?
I was very close to going to New York, but I think since last year I had a great conversation with Phoenix already, and that was always there. And I feel like we already laid a great foundation, but I decided to go back to Dallas, wanted to give it another try. And then this year when I knew I'm definitely not returning, I felt like I just want a new clean slate. And that clean slate wanting a clean slate really cleaned up some thoughts that I had about New York, because I feel like they have a machinery that's oiled, that's working. They just won. My sister, like, that's her team. I love that. You know what I mean? She really won the chip.
Yeah.
And obviously there's nothing more than wanting to play with your sister. But my sister's my sis, and she understands my decision, and she wants me to be the best person that I can be. And I feel like it's time for me to just like start fresh and flourish into the best player that I can be. And I really want to be that best player and like get the maximum out of me. And I feel like with AT and Ka, like, who wouldn't want to play with them? I'm so excited. They're just super aggressive, and I feel like our energy just matches in that terms of being determined on the floor and like being that extra punch that you bring in daily, and being so versatile. Like that really puts us all together. And I don't know, I was just interested in that, and it drives my basketball I don't know, that determination for something new and like that fight. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And in some ways, you mentioned Niara, because I thought like, oh, you would want to, be reunited with your sister.
Yeah.
But in some ways, as a big sis, maybe you wanted to give your little sis the room to be herself.
Yeah.
And have her room on the Liberty, who already, like you said, well-oiled machine. Even if you came, you would have been a piece of a machine that's already moving forward.
Yeah, and she, when everyone like chanting her name too, Sabally, like that was amazing. And she's so happy there. And I just want her to like do her thing for a second. Yes. Like, and we played together in the national team. We're going to be in the Olympics, hopefully, in LA together. So up until then, it's still a grind together.
Yeah.
But having these careers at the highest level flourish in our individual way and then come together, I feel like we need to save that part of the story for you guys a little bit longer.
We'll come revisit that.
Yeah.
Actually, let's revisit, though, like the energy, the way you were feeling when you were talking about you, Kahlia Copper, Alyssa Thomas. This is a new big three in Phoenix. Like, what's like, I'm big on these words. What's like a word or a phrase or a feeling that you think this big three, like describes what this big three is about to be about?
Hunger. Yeah, hunger. I want to win. I want nothing more. I want to win as a team. A team wants to win, and Ka has done it. And I think she's just like, at this point in her career, she also wants to lead that and like set that example. And I love that. She's always been a person I looked up to. So I would say hunger, grit, determination, everything. Throw it out. Put us on the floor. I could really start training camp right now. I don't know. I'm just pumped for it.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
I love to hear this enthusiasm from you.
Yeah, I know.
Has it always felt this level of enthusiasm in your career?
I feel like I used to be a lot more anxious and would put so much pressure on me, but now I have something to look back to that I trust. I've built so much like grace and confidence in the last year because I was really tested to my maximum last year. I was challenged and so many things were going on, basketball, personal life, and just wanting to combine everything. But in the end of it all, I woke every morning wanting to go to the Olympics. And that drive just reminded me like, no, this is where I belong. This is what I do. So every day now I just come to practice. I'm like, oh my God, like I get to do this, because literally a year ago, I got hurt. And I didn't know if I could like do this again. I'm like, oh my God, what if this would just be over? And that thought to me was something that's like unacceptable. So now that I have it, I'm just grateful. Like, I'm just grateful to do this every day. I'm grateful to compete with the best players out there. And I'm just grateful to like see that 44-game season from a perspective of like, I've been through it, I can do it. And I've been through it through my worst and like not the best conditions. So now it's just all coming together and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that has ever tripped you up has been health. I know last season, you think you played 15 games in the for Dallas, and when you are healthy, babe, you're dominant. Period. Like so. Are you doing anything? Like, what are you doing to ensure that you have the best shot at healthiness? Have you changed up some routines, or have you tried Pilates? Like, is there anything you're doing?
Well, when I look back at the trajectory of how these injuries happen, like, it was first of all having to play all year long. Because, like, I was never hurt in Istanbul. Like, played all year long and then had some Achilles stuff in the summer where games are just, like, so compact that I didn't play the whole season. Then last year with the surgery on my shoulder, like, I've been playing for 2 years straight. And then it's just like, all right, okay, this happens. I was ready for the Olympics, but now I'm like, when you look at the overall year, it's actually okay. It was just like bad timing. So I feel like I'm doing things right. I'm getting my work in. I have the best trainers, like personal trainer, and she just like really gets me right because every time I'm back on the floor, it's like, boom, like it comes. So definitely just having patience and also trust in the journey. I think it was just not my time yet. And things really do happen for a reason. And I think I just had to learn my body more. And with recovery, like, I mean, I'm shooting better than before. I feel like I'm, they've just fixed me up a little bit, and I could strengthen my muscles. And, when they say, oh, you'll return better, like after this time, that really happens if you just like really lock in and get your body right and the mechanics.
Yeah.
Take care of your mental, nutrition. But it comes like in steps. You gotta take it slow.
You said it wasn't your time then. Is it your time now?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I mean, even when I look back, like everything has been great, but I think I just have so high expectations of myself too. I'm like, now it's like, it's coming.
It's a perfect storm of like all these things, like your maturity as a woman, like your understanding of the pro game, like your body and health, like the right situation and fit and team.
Yes.
Like, something's brewing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm just also excited to work with someone. And that's why I wanted to look at Nate, how he did last year, because it was his first year. And I'm like, hey, listen, I've had experiences now, like 4 different head coaches. So I'm just like, listen, I now just want to see what you're doing. And I liked what they were doing. And I'm like, all right, I like this. So when he was talking about X's and O, I just saw myself fit too. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, that's a crazy aspect of this, because Nate will now be your 4th head coach in 6 seasons. Because you were there for Brian Agler in Dallas and Vicki Johnson and Latricia Trammell.
Yes.
Like, how hard is it to get rhythm as a player when you got all these new coaches, new systems?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, also like having to carry so much weight at such a young age, it's definitely hard. It's an adjustment phase. Just having to like receive different type of playing styles every single year or every other year, like that's really hard, but you also learn a lot. You learn what works, you learn what doesn't work. So I feel like even in terms of that, I've just grown so much because you read dynamics and you learn that, and I don't think you learn it if you're like in a perfect environment. So still beneficial.
So coming to Unrivaled here, you're on Team Phantom. The reunion all the people wanted to see.
Yes, exactly. I'm playing already with my homegirl.
Sabrina Ionescu. You guys played, so you playing on Team Phantom, Sabrina Ionescu. You guys played at Oregon together.
Yes.
I covered you guys at Oregon.
Yes.
For those who don't know, like you guys were #1 in the country. COVID hit. Your run to a championship was cut short on the NCAA level. Maybe you might have a chance to do it in Unrivaled or fight for it. But, like, how has it been being back with Sabrina?
It's fun. It's fun. Like, it's honestly funny because we talk about our experiences in college and now, and it's almost like we're the same person. Like, when we interact with each other, even in training, we're, like, I feel like we're very opposite people, but in practice, we're, like, very serious. And that is something that I've just noticed. Like, when we were both there, I'm like, oh my God, like, we can loosen up a little bit, but we don't. So it's funny in practice. In the games, it's awesome. Like playing pick and roll with her is obviously great. Like we have that dynamic where we can just like read off each other.
Still?
Yeah, for sure.
Back like it never left.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, we did it. We just need to get our flow a little bit on the Phantom, but yeah, it's fun.
It's coming. Have you guys kept up throughout your pro careers?
Yes, for sure. No, Sap is like a forever long friend. I was at her wedding. It was absolutely gorgeous. And like, even, for example, even with the injury last year, like I wouldn't have been able to go to the wedding if that didn't happen. And that's such a small thing, but I'm like, that's something lifelong. And her wedding with Heronis, like it was just absolutely beautiful. And to see her, even after the season, I came to her, I was like, Sab, you had an amazing year. You won the Olympic gold medal, won a championship. But she was like, and I got married. Yeah. That's what she said. And I was just like, yes, that's the love that she also always wanted. So as a friend, that's just amazing to see. Yeah.
Like winning holistically at all levels of life.
At all levels.
And she secured literally every ring possible.
Yes. And that was the year to do it. In Team USA too, like, come on, it's the year to do it. So we're proud of you, Sab.
Absolutely. We love to see it. Oh, we love that.
Yes, we do.
Another aspect of being on Phantom and at Unrivaled. So during free agency, it was madness.
Yeah.
You end up going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Natasha Cloud, kind of unceremoniously, she's been very public about it, ends up in Connecticut. Brittany Griner makes an exit from Phoenix and heads to Atlanta. And interestingly enough, all three of you are on the same team at Unrivaled on the Phantom. Like, does any of this get a little awkward?
I think we kept it to the level where it doesn't get awkward. I'm always a person of like clear communication.
Yeah.
So even before we knew that Natasha got traded, I asked a ton of questions. Oh. And when that happened, I still asked a ton of questions, like, how do you feel? Like, what did they tell you? And obviously, like, that situation, I do have to say it wasn't what she deserved. Like, I don't think anyone deserves, like, having to move and, like, your job is not a normal part of our business. That's really not normal. So just having to navigate through that, she did that amazing. Like, that's also what I look up to, right? Like, how do you respond to these situations? And I think she did it in a very, very well carried way. I don't know, like that was really strong, because people, like, that's hard to feel that way and to experience that.
But it seemed like everyone was willing to have each other's back. Like,
yes,
you know, let me give you my honest perception. Also, like, you were having respectful, like, hey, I'm not coming moments, or like, hey, I'm sorry this happened to you. It was a real sisterhood here.
It is. Yeah, you feel it. I mean, we're in the training room, and I think you even see people getting tended to. Like, I think it brings the humanity back a little bit, because it's you versus me. We compete. Like, I don't know what you got going on. I'm not hanging out with you, and we're just competing. So that is what we used to. And now being together in the space, you actually have normal conversations. And then, you know, like, it builds connections. I really like it. I've been enjoying it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there is a humanity, as, you know, in each of the players here. You know, for you, you have such a dynamic personal history.
Yeah.
Because your family is German and from Gambia.
Yeah.
So how does your heritage as a woman who is African and European, like, how does that inform who you are as a person?
It does so much to you. I think, first of all, I feel like a classy under 25, definitely like 24, 25 identity crisis. No, not really, but partially deciding also who you want to be. So, like, for me, it was very important to still keep my African roots. Like, I wanted to go back to Gambia, so I was there in last January, exactly a year ago, and it was just amazing. Like, I love it. And just kind of carrying the legacy of my dad's tribe. Like, I'm a Mandinka, so I'm really, like, proud of that. I'm also proud of my German side, like with my mom. She grew up in East Germany. Like, there's just so much history to it that has made me really accustomed and sensitive to global politics, to global dynamics and migration crisis and just everything that is happening right now. I feel like I've lived through it as a little child, that I've seen it firsthand, whether it's from family or from just social dynamics. And so I'm very aware, I would say. I'm very aware. I'm a people person, very diplomatic. I love to have a conversation with left and right, and let's talk this out. But yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 2. I know a little bit of French. Unfortunately, I don't speak any Mandinka. Our dad wanted to teach us English, so we would know that in school once we got to school. So
you grew up mostly in Germany?
No, actually, up until I was 6, I was in the Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah, so America, I was born in America, born in New York. Then I was in Gambia, and we went back to America. And Yara was born in Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah, random.
Okay.
Back to Gambia. And then when I started school in 1st grade, I was in Germany.
In Germany.
1st grade, 7 years old.
Do you have a lot of exposure to the African side? Because, you know, we want to take our trip.
Yes, we're taking our trip. And yes, I do. Definitely NBA Africa.
Yes.
I mean, how awesome.
Yeah. I
need to be on that Senegal trip.
Yes.
I would love to bring NBA Africa, and I know the conversations are already happening in the back to the Gambia. It's just like economically a different setup country than Senegal. And Senegal already has everything built up. And I want to be there. I want to see everything. Want to know how it works and really learn how it works, and then hopefully bring that over. I mean, there's so many athletes, so many Americans too that are like, you know, we need to be on our motherland. And I'm like, yes, you have to go. You have to taste the food. You have to hear the language. You need to, like, smell the ocean breeze that's just, like, coming from the shores of where, you know, so many people have like touched the motherland for the last time. Like it goes so deep. So I feel like just being rooted in that is something that I've been gifted with, like also from my father, like very aware, very stubborn, but also like telling me the truth and like telling what happened. So keeping history close is something that has allowed me to like still convey, I don't know, messages of peace, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl, that is a word.
Yeah.
You know, I do think, as someone who also is very active with NBA Africa.
You are. And you are, by the way, such an inspiration for that.
Oh, girl, thank you.
You really are. Like you, Shanae, Neka, like you just like live it out. And I just love that.
Come join.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we need ambassadors like yourself, you know, who worldly, you can speak to the entire world and share about like how sports can be very empowering for young people, for communities, for ecosystems, for business.
Yeah, and now with Unrivaled, I'll have more time in the off season to actually do that.
We'll do the Senegal trip.
Okay.
We'll
Let's
do it.
that. Who's coming?
Who's coming?
Who's coming?
Who's coming?
And we need investors.
Period.
Welcome back to Good Follow. This segment is presented by DraftKings. I've got my eyes on this Thursday's game and highly anticipated matchup between the #1 undefeated UCLA Bruins and the #6 in the nation team, USC Trojans. And this will be a battle for LA and the top of the Big Ten. There's big star power, starting with USC's JUJU Watkins. Could this be a signature moment in game for JUJU to lead her team to upset and deliver UCLA their first loss? JUJU is silky smooth with incredible footwork and high skill. If she's locked in and engaged with an efficient game, USC has a shot at it. The advantage UCLA has is its size, and that starts with Lauren Betts, who's nearly averaging a 20-point double-double. She blocks almost 3 shots a game, and that's not even mentioning the shots that she changes. She is a two-way impact player that USC has to deal with. I'm going to give the edge here to UCLA to go on the road into Galen Center and pull off the win, stay undefeated. And keep in mind, USC's sidelines are known to be star-studded with celebrities, so that'll add extra pressure and excitement to one of the premier matchups of the women's college season. So buckle up for another epic chapter of the UCLA-USC rivalry. This segment is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
The crown is yours. I love that.
Okay, Logan, we are almost out of time. So can you take us through a couple quick hits and headlines we haven't gotten to yet?
Yes, I'm not too sure if you saw, but Nike did their first Super Bowl ad in 27 years, and it was for women. We absolutely love to see it. We had WNBA stars like Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu. You had Jordan Childs, Sophia Smith, and then we went international with Alexia Putellas and so many more. And it featured the whole Nike's new So Win campaign, voiced by Doechii. I mean, this is like absolutely star-studded. It was amazing to see. And there was hype beforehand, so it was cool to see it like actually play out during the Super Bowl.
Yes, we love to see this level of investment. You said, I'm not sure if you saw. This was the ad that everybody saw. I think it was the best one of Super Bowl.
I don't know if they played in Canada. I was like intentionally watching the American one, the American feed, just to see all the American commercials. But we also have Prime Video, who announced their docuseries on the 2024 NWSL playoffs, which was absolutely chaotic. They got unprecedented access. It's a 4-part series. I'm super excited to watch it because we watched it on TV, but we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. So I cannot wait to see that.
I need the tea.
Exactly. No, and there's probably so much tea because last season was insane.
You know what else is insane, Logan? The fact that we're out of time already on this show. It goes by too quick, especially when you're just having so much fun. But that'll do it for this episode of Good Follow Show. And first and foremost, we want to thank all of you for rocking with us, for watching, for coming back multiple weeks in a row. We're building this thing from the ground up. So please, if you haven't yet, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever else you're getting your podcasts. Follow our social media handles at Good Follow Show. Good Follow is presented by DraftKings, and we had a big show today. So we want to definitely thank Mo Billings for coming on and kicking it with us. We want to thank Satou Sabally for an incredible interview. And for Logan, I'm Roz. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.